Nathaniel Bandy. Striving for originality.
Welcome to the Predicting Mario Kart 9 series. Today, we will talk about Battle Mode. Now, Mario Kart 8... What? What did you do, Nintendo? What in the flying Mario did you do to Battle Mode? The Battle Mode tracks are blatant copies of tracks from the main game. That's not Battle Mode. They completely and utterly ruined it for whatever reason. And that is quite a shame. However, for Mario Kart 9, I think they'll go back to their senses and roots and make battle maps the way that they used to. So, like the Retro Tracks video, part 1 of this series, let's do the same kind of thing, except with the retro battle maps, and go through the numbers. First, let's look at what retro battle maps have been used, starting with Mario Kart DS. Okay, so Mario Kart DS had 4 original tracks and 2 retro tracks, those being Block 4 from Mario Kart 64 and Pipe Plaza from Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, I'm actually not that surprised to not see a consistent amount of retro tracks being used, because if they used retro tracks from each game, they probably wouldn't have very much room to add original tracks. It was probably a space issue. But regardless, the 2 retro tracks that they did pick are literally my 2 favorite retro battle mode tracks of all time. I mean, that's just another reason to love Mario Kart DS. They picked the best retro battle maps. And now, let's move to Mario Kart Wii. They had 5 original tracks and 5 retro tracks. Those being Battle Course 4 from Super Mario Kart, Battle Course 3 from Mario Kart Super Circuit, Skyscraper from Mario Kart 64, Cookie Land from Mario Kart Double Dash, and Twilight House from Mario Kart DS. Again, I'm very happy with the selection and even the consistency. They used 1 retro track from each Mario Kart title in the past. And things get messed up again with Mario Kart 7. They had 3 original tracks and 3 retro tracks. Those being Battle Course 1 from Mario Kart Super Circuit, Big Donut from Mario Kart 64, and Palm Shore from Mario Kart DS. Now again, making another reference to my retro tracks video, Nintendo is again abusing their game. So they've got 1 retro track left to use from Mario Kart 64, and now they have 1 retro battle map to use. They really should have picked a GameCube track instead. But whatever, I mean, it's really not that big a deal. Mario Kart 8, well, you see, they programmed battle mode for that game with their hands tied behind their backs, blindfolded. We get no retro battle maps, no original battle maps, but of course, 8 blatant copies of main courses. Fantastic, Nintendo. I'm still not sure why they did this, but since it was such a big glaring flaw in the game, again, I'm sure they will fix it, and we won't have that problem anymore. Now I can see them going with the Mario Kart Wii route again by adding 5 original tracks and 5 retro tracks to Mario Kart 9. Here are the 5 retro tracks that I predict will be in it. My ideas for original battle courses. There should be a course that's a literal exact replica of Princess Peach's castle from Super Mario 64. We should be able to drive around the outside of the front of the castle, drive through the water that surrounds the castle, and even drive a little bit inside the castle. But we shouldn't be allowed to go inside the doors or anything, just that main floor. Now how about a retro battle map that was based off a cavern? Now this idea actually comes from a time when I visited a cave called Luray Caverns. Now this cave was practically made out of limestone, which was covered with stalagmites, columns, and stalagmites. This battle mode track could look absolutely stunning, and there should be one based off of it. So yeah, I honestly couldn't think of any other ideas. But if you have any ideas for original battle mode tracks, you should write them down below. Now I have an idea for a new type of game mode for battle mode. You know how a lot of games have Capture the Flag? Why can't Mario Kart have their own variation called capture the egg. It could be a free-for-all or a team-on-2 battle. So basically, the game starts like normal, and to start off, you just keep running into item boxes. At complete random, somebody will get an egg as an item. Once you get that egg, the goal is to make it back to where you first started the race, or your base. However, once you have that egg, you will have an arrow hovering above your cart where people will know that you have the egg, and they can also hit you with items like mushrooms, green shells, bananas, you name it, to knock the egg out of you. However, if you're doing a team match, you can throw your egg to your friend or your teammate to give the egg to them. You throw it just like you do a Bobo. Now a game mode like this would be really hard to balance, but I have a couple of ideas that would help balance this game out. First off, when you get item boxes, you gotta receive the items much faster. That way when someone has the egg, you don't have to wait too long to get an item, and also, there just needs to be a lot of item boxes everywhere. Now I also think it would be smart that if the egg is getting knocked back and forth between characters multiple times, well, if it happens too much, the egg should break, and then you gotta start the process all over again. So, those are my ideas for battle mode. What ideas do you have? Leave a comment below and share. I'll read as many as I can. The next part will talk about gameplay mechanics and how they can be tweaked to perfection. And I'll also touch on game modes. Have a fantastic day, everybody.
I predict that you want to watch more of these prediction videos. Oh, come on, I know you want to. I can read right through you. Don't deny yourself.